Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to tonight's webinar. We'll get everybody time to get logged in and get checked in. For all the new folks, this is being your first one, just a little bit of housekeeping. I do these every single week. It's usually a different evening of the week each week, but always 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Mountain time, and 6 p.m. Central time. So we alternate the day of the week because sometimes people, we realize, have families with children, and maybe you're taking care of your senior adult parents, things like that, certain nights of the week. And so we mix it up, realize we can get more people in, more live sessions. It's better to be on these live, okay? Nothing wrong with watching the recordings, but good to have them live here. So always, the next day, always look for the email from Beverly with the recording. Also, the schedule coming up, updates to the systems and platforms. Usually she has a pretty jam-packed email, but it's good to go through that to keep up to date with things. First things first, let me open up the chat box here to every one of us. So let's see, Vince is already, hey Vince, how you doing, buddy? Vince is already, Gary, did you get my email? Let me write that down. There was one I didn't see from Cheryl either. Cheryl, I got your other email, the latest one on Facebook, which was what we covered tonight. So let me write this down, Vince. Vince and Cheryl email. So I'll look for that. Tonight's my 82-year-old mother's birthday. So after I call my mom after the webinar, I'll look for the email. We'll go from there. But in any case, if everybody could do me a favor, if you could go ahead and just type in, let me know that you can see me and hear me, and I'll give you my welcome hello there. Betty, good to see you. All right, let's see who else is in there. Let me go back to the attendee panel. Hang on one second. So Betty, Cheryl, good. I'm glad you're on. So Cheryl, we're going to go over your question tonight. This is going to be another session on Facebook. And what's exciting is I know a bunch of you jumped in last week and tried to did stuff, because I can tell by the emails. So we had some great success stories, people putting posts out there and getting, like 3 leads right off the bat. And like most of us, we got our ads rejected. And what's really interesting, I didn't want to deflate you last week, but even the experts will tell you that most of the time, most of us get our ads rejected. I'm not an expert. I mean, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. I've gone through another phase of learning. The first time was back in 2012. I literally paid several $1,000s to learn all this because it just baffled me. And we used to call it the Facebook furnace. You throw your money in, poof, it goes up in smoke. So what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna kind of ground you, bring you back down to ground, and give you some things you can do that are either no cost or very low cost, but also help you figure out what happens when you hit a stumbling block, okay? So Cheryl, we're gonna cover that. You're welcome, Cheryl. I know what it's like, believe me. I gotta tell you guys, the reason I don't spend a lot of time on this early on is I want you to focus on the basics first anyways. Build your database, right? Using things like the booklet and stuff like that. Use the letter to get listings. Those techniques always work. I don't care what the economy is like. I don't care what you're dealing with, Gen X or Gen Y or Gen Z or baby boomers. Those things work consistently. Facebook, it's an entire, believe me, it's an entire industry. I mean, there are companies, businesses that all they do is do people's Facebook ads for them. It's that, and I hate to use the word complex, and because I've got a degree in computer science, I think it's a little bit complex, and some of you are probably starting to see that. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can keep it simple, keep it short and simple, and not have to worry about all the complexity. So we're going to cover some of that tonight. So Betty, yay, Betty. So guys, real quick, so Betty's was rejected too. And then what you have to do is do a request to review. I'm going to show you that tonight. I'm going to show you how to also create what's called a business manager, because some of you noticed that if you want to create a lookalike audience, you have to have a business manager account, not just an ads manager account. The two work hand in hand. Because you're a special category, because you're offering housing. Okay, now remember, in my production ads, of course, I'm offering housing. In my ads through here, I'm not offering housing, I'm offering training, okay? So I don't have to use a special ad category, but Cheryl discovered this. So Cheryl, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna give you a document. I've got several attachments I'm gonna send you guys through the email tomorrow with Beverly. So remember, get the email from Beverly. She'll give you all the attachments and the recording, of course, and all that. Back to if you're new to this, if this is your first one, let me see who's on here, by the way. Arthur, good to see you, Arthur. All right, buddy. Arthur, excuse me, this may be good for you. Let's see, Betty, Cheryl, Chris, Cindy, David Edwards, good to see you, David. All right. Diane Harris, Doug Campbell, good to see you, Doug. Carrie, Louis, good to see you, Louis. Louis, more news coming up, so let's touch base this weekend, okay, buddy? Matt Shields, Nicole, good to see you, Nicole. Chris Latham, always good to see you too, man. Rosemary, Brand, welcome aboard, Rosemary. I'm glad you're here. Brand new. Sheikah, always good to see you. Shirley, good to see you. Tanya, oh my gosh, you guys are making my day here. Todor, holy smokes. Well, there's a blast from the past. Good to see you, Todor. We've got literally from California to Canada to Massachusetts and everybody in between. Willie, good to see you, buddy. My old stomping grounds, Vince in Pittsburgh. Okay, so let's do this. Let's see, Tiffany. Oh, Tiffany. Okay, so Tiffany, I don't know if Craig is on. I haven't seen Craig's name. I'm glad you're on because I wanted to make sure you guys got your email in time to be able to do this. Okay. Let's see. Yep. Louis, Tiffany, Doug, Arthur. Let's see. Sheik, everybody's okay. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to keep this active here, the chat box, because this is going to be a pretty active session. Definitely have a pad paper to write on. Say that 3 times in a row. And a pen or pencil. And for all the new folks, I just want to mention something here. So these weekly webinars are really about you. It's not. I'm not necessarily going through training modules in sequence. That's not what this is about. That's the training modules you do of your own on your own time, and self-paced. You study them as fast as you want, and then you can always send me emails or bring questions to this webinar here. Okay, but these webinars we're doing like a sort of like a Navy SEAL tactical exercise where we're going to dig into one subject and focus on it. Okay, that doesn't mean you can't ask any other questions. You can definitely ask all the questions you want. This is all about you. Okay. It is recorded. You get the recording the next day again, and also the anything that I come up with or we show, we will always attach in the email coming out the next day. So, in any case, back to this. We're talking about Facebook tonight, which is generally not in the training modules, other than a mention. And I think the old module 4, which is now module 9 or something like that. But when we get on these weekly webinars, we're usually talking about marketing because that's where the action happens. That's where you get your business, okay? So a couple of things here. I wrote some notes. Let me get to my notes here, and this will help me keep my sanity. All right, so if we have time, I'm going to go over what we call the 1-minute video campaign. If I can't get to it, I'll send you the information. But it's going to show you to create some really short, simple posts that are video, which usually gets higher view rates and higher, lead generation rates and things like that. But for right now, what I want to do is I want to go into some of the things that you guys have brought up in the last week. First thing is when you have something rejected. So let's go to Facebook, okay? Let me go up here, go to where we are. There I am. Okay. So let me share my screen. Hang on just 1 second here. You can see what it is I'm doing. And for right now, what I would do is I wouldn't try to go to Facebook right now, guys. I would just focus on this, okay? And then you can replay it tomorrow and stop it and start it. And then on another session on your computer, do these things or do it tonight. If you're a heavy hitter, you'll do this tonight, okay? I know environments like this, I just learned a long time ago. I just start working from the moment I wake up after I do my prayers, meditation, exercise, and I keep going until I can't see anymore. Because that's what it takes to get through this, right? Not just to succeed, but thrive, okay? So, but that's just me. I mean, I'm not expecting you guys to work your lives away here during the next few months. I'm just telling you, I know what it takes to succeed, and it takes, you gotta put forth the effort, okay? So let me go to, so Cheryl, everybody watch this. On your personal Facebook page, you always start with a personal Facebook page, and then you have a separate business page. We talked about that last week. So I'm on my personal Facebook page, not the Gary page, but home, right? This is like my newsfeed and all that. I'm going to click on this drop-down menu over here, right? And last week I went over right into manage ads. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go into, let's do that first. Let's go into manage ads. I'll go find one that's been rejected and I'll show you what to do. And then I'm going to go into business manager and show you how to create a lookalike audience. And even if you're in a special category, which you are. So let's go to manage ads first. Okay. This is going to take me to my ads manager screen. You'll see off to the left, it says Gary Wilson. I'm just going to my simple ads manager account. I have a business account, which I'll show you in a minute. And you're going to have both, by the way. Okay. So click on Gary Wilson. All right. Hey, by the way, hey, Louie, can you do me a favor? Are you seeing in my screen right now? It says loading ads manager. And now there's a chart that shows the ads running. If you could let me know that, Louie, that would be great. Let me go to the chat box here. I just want to make sure you're seeing what I'm talking about. Let's see, Louie may have stepped aside for a second. Hey, Doug, can you see on my screen, or Cheryl? It's basically like a spreadsheet showing 3 ads. I see it. Oh, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Okay, let me reduce the panel now. First thing you'll notice is it's in the campaign level. So in any ad that you're going to do, when you start doing this on a regular basis and more professionally, you always have an ad campaign that may have 1 or more ad sets, and then each ad set may have 1 or more ads. Okay, so it starts off with the ad campaign set, the ad campaign level automatically. So I've got a brand awareness campaign going on, the event campaign, another brand awareness campaign going on, another one. Ooh, we had several ads reviewed. They were rejected and they've been reviewed. I'm going to go to one that's got some problems. Okay. There it is. So let's click on that. Ad set errors. Then I'm going to go to ad set. Okay. I go in there, it says add errors. I'm going to go and check on that and click on ads. So I went from ad campaign, clicked on the one that had errors, right? Then I clicked on it, then I came up, brought up the ad set. There's only one ad set, clicked on it, and I went and I'm going to go click on the ads for that ad set. Now I get to see the specific ad that was rejected. Let's go, we're going to click on edit, okay? Again, don't worry about writing all this down. I just want to show you what it looks like. Then tomorrow you get the recording, then you can slow down, go fast forward and backwards and all that. But I'll give you something to write down here in a minute. So I'm going to click on the edit because what that'll do is actually will bring up the actual ad. It'll tell me what happened. So Cheryl, you probably saw something like this, okay? Ad can't run, create a new post. And look at that, Cheryl, your exact error says special ad category, okay? Now I know mine is actually not a special ad category, but I know yours is. But what you want to do is this is, in your case, Cheryl, you would choose category and let's just, I'm not going to go all the way through this. I just want to show you the steps to do. Click on choose category and you can say, I'm creating an ad campaign for ad category, special ad category, say yes. And it'll give you, it asks you what the category is. Okay. Hang on one second, let me do this. And I'm probably got to be careful what I'm doing here. Limited options, it's going to limit you as far as location. So it's assuming you're going to be offering housing, which you are, you're a realtor, in a specific area, which you also are doing. And it's going to tell you got to select available options. One of them is look-alike audience. Okay. So in any case, I'm not going to go too far with this because my ads manager will basically eliminate me tomorrow because I've messed up more stuff by doing this. And then she goes in the next thing, so Gary, what the heck did you do? So in any case, you can see it came up housing, right? Special category housing. And if you notice, it said select special, you can create an audience. that's a lookalike audience. I'm going to show you that next, Cheryl. But before I do, let me go backwards here. Okay. Let me keep going backwards. I want to go down. I want to actually look at the ad. Okay. Hang on one second. Whoops. There it is. I'm going to click on the right arrow so it brings up my desk feed. All right. So I get a better view of it. Okay. We're going to keep messing this up here. Now I can see the ad. If I click right here, it's actually going to show me what it looks like in real life in production if it was running. So I would select preview, see post, Facebook post with comments, just like it was really happening live in person. Okay, and it's going to take a second because I think everybody in the planet is using Zoom and Facebook right now. So you can see the actual ad, right? And I've actually run this before. Sometimes we edit these and we change them. And every time we do, they get rejected. We got to go through the review process again. So let me select see details. Okay. And it gives me everything I just saw a moment ago. But here's what you can do. Here's what I was going to tell you to do, Cheryl. This is what Betty did. She clicked on view request. See, I can't click on, I've already clicked on request review. If I didn't done that, Cheryl, this would say request review. Click on that and it goes under a review. Okay. That's the one thing I wanted to show you, the first thing. Now, if you have an ad rejected, go into the, edit on it, go into the edit mode on it and go down and drop down until you see this information here that was rejected and you get the option to get it reviewed. Always do that because most times they'll review it and they'll approve it. Now, in Cheryl's case, because it's a special ad category, and every one of you's got to pay attention to this, you're going to create a special ad category too, which is housing, because you're basically offering housing. All right. That's the first part. Now what I want to do is this. Let me get back out of here to click off on that. And I'm going to go backwards to my personal page. It's going to take a few clicks here. So hang on one second. Okay. And one more, and I should be there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, Cheryl, for everybody watching, you're going to create a lookalike audience. This is one of the things you want to do. If this thing wants to cooperate, there it is. But to do that, you don't go to manage ads right here. Up above it, it's going to see business manager. Now, if you haven't created your business manager account, you have to do that. It's easy to do. If you're not sure, just Google create Facebook business manager account. Or you can go into the help box and type it in. It shows you how to do that. In fact, maybe we'll just do that here in a second, but I'm going to show you this first. So I go to my business manager homepage, right, just by clicking on that. And you'll see I've got two accounts. So I'm going to click on this one, MIS Team. All right. Let me check the chat box here real quick. Hang on one second. We can see it. Okay, good. Hey, Helen, how you doing? Good to see you. All right, that didn't show me what I wanted. Let me go back one because I thought that was the one I wanted to be in. You actually click the first one. And I'll explain this once it gets here. Ah, there it is. Okay. So I've got, wait a second, that also didn't show me what I wanted. Hang on one second. Business manager, ad account performance, create report. I thought I did this before, view and ads manager. And these are dormant, so I can show you this stuff. It won't hurt anything, Okay, any case, so it's not showing the lookalike audiences I already have, but let me do this. I'm going to do create, and that's still not right. Hang on one second. Let me drop that. Let me go back here. Business manager, activity, having employees. Oh, here we go. So you click on the business manager box up here with the menu box. drop down and click on audiences, okay? And now it's going to show you what I'm going to show you. And as soon as it pops up, you'll see we've got multiple lookalike audiences, okay? And here they are. Lookalike prospects, my own personal customers, contacts from Infusionsoft, people who like my investor services, MIS general database minus customers. So we have, just to give you a rough idea here, so basically me, collectively I have a database of about 70,000 people. I know it sounds crazy, but believe it or not, if you do keep doing this as long as I have, you'll build it up. Out of that group, there's probably 20 to 24,000 that are like viable. You know, we know each other, right? I know that sounds crazy, but believe it or not, I've met 20 to 24,000 people over the last several years. And then out of that group, we've got the group that actually did something. You know, they bought a property, they sold the property, whatever, that's several thousand, okay? So if you look in here, I have several lookalike audiences, okay? Now, you'll notice in here, every one of them says 1%. That's because when you create a lookalike audience, you're gonna have a bar that slides over. You can make the lookalike audience really small, 1%, and really big of 100%. What that means is they're gonna expand and be more liberal. Facebook, that is gonna be more liberal in who they select that they believe matches your lookalike audience. Now, what is a lookalike audience? Where does it come from? It actually comes from a number of different sources. It could be a file from your contact management system of people and their email addresses and phone numbers. That's the most common, and they tell you how to import that. Okay, if you want me to, I'll get into some of this in a minute. But you can upload that, and Facebook will go search on Facebook for those profiles that have that email address on it and the name and the phone number. And when they get the exact profile, then they'll go look for other profiles that match those people's profiles. Now, that's one source of lookalike audience. Another source would be people who like you or follow you on Facebook, or people who've been to your website and got a free report on, free listings of properties in the area, or they did a free home evaluation form. That could be a lookalike audience that you clone, okay? So in any case, in order to create a lookalike audience, you have to be in Business Manager. You can't do it directly from Ads Manager. Okay, technically you're in Ads Manager, but you came to it from the Business Manager, okay? Now back to Cheryl and every one of you who sets up a special category because you're offering housing, which you're going to have to do, they're going to restrict that even further. You can still create a lookalike audience, okay? But because you're a special ad category, they're going to restrict the character traits that you're able to select. In other words, in housing, we have to follow the rules of discrimination. You can't discriminate against people, the categories, right? Race, religion, sex, national origin, all those things, okay? So if they think anything remotely looks like you're singling people out, or you're excluding groups of people, they will definitely reject your ad, okay? And you don't want to do that anyways. It's not necessary. The cool thing is you can select based on like vocation. So here's what I'm going to bring this back home for you guys. If you want to focus on engineers, you can definitely select engineers. That's not a special category. It's not a protected class, excuse me. Has nothing to do with race, religion, sex, national origin, things like that. It is a vocation, and it is a valid field to select, okay? Now, what's interesting is when you select your audience, you pre-select your audience based on hobby, vocation, whatever. In your ad itself, and this is an important concept, in your ad itself, you don't have to point them out. You don't have to say, hey, for all you engineers, because you're already targeting engineers in your audience selection. Does that make sense? Let me just do a quick pause here. So this is an important concept. In Facebook advertising, you target your audience based on valid fields like vocation, where they live, okay? Like town, zip code, whatever, county, those are allowable selection criteria for location. And so when you do your ad, you don't have to say, hey, Bennington Heights, this new house just came up, because you're going to only target people who are in Bennington Heights in your audience selection. So that means on your headline of your ad, you just have, all you have to say is new house in your neighborhood, something like that, you know? And so what's interesting is most of us, our minds are wanting to target people in our headlines and our copy, the actual wording in our ad. But you don't want to target people there. You target them in your audience selection. And then in your ad, your copy, you can say what you want to say. All right, so let me do this. Let me check on the chat box here, and I've got more to show you, so hang on just one second. Got to bounce, have you 4:30, talk soon. Shirley, good to see you. All right, Cheryl, this is yourself. Oh, thank you, Cheryl, I appreciate that. Okay, now, when you create audience, okay, you can create, so Cheryl, this is where you create either a custom audience where you base it on criteria like their vocation, where they live, things like that, or the lookalike, which is what I just showed you. And you do create lookalike, you're going to have to, here, I'll just show you. So lookalike, you have to select your source, okay? We're going to create new source, custom audience with LTV, create a lookalike audience, most valuable customers by including customer lifetime value, okay? Up here, create an audience of existing customer prospects, so we'll select that, okay? And I've already got them, but in any case, so here you go. You can select people that went to your website. You can select people who watched your videos. You can select people who register for one of your events. You can select people from a form you had them fill out on Facebook. Those are all the possible, or customer list. A customer list is not highlighted here, I think because I've already got them, perhaps, I'm not sure. But in any case, go back to here. Let me reduce this, all right? The other option is create custom audience, Cheryl, and then same thing, but here, it's the same, you can, so your lookalike audience, you can narrow it down by people who are already on your contact management system, but also meet some of these things here. If you don't do the lookalike, then all you have is these things here. And you can even drill down even further by selecting vocation and all that. In any case, Cheryl, that should help you get past a hurdle you found yourself in. There is another way you can avoid all this, which is just simply do a basic post on your personal Facebook page, okay? Then you share it with your business page, and in there you can do a simple boost. You boost the post. Here, I'll show you, okay? So let me go, let me get out of here, Business Manager. Let me go back into Facebook. Oops. Okay, I don't know what I did there, but facebook.com. Okay. Let me go to My Events and Services. I want to make sure this is being shared. Hang on just one second, guys. Share screen. Okay, good. So if I go down here, let me go to post, simple post, okay. It's taking a second here, so I'm going to just 1 second. Here we go. All right. So this one right here, I actually did myself early this morning. This is an article that came up, and you guys can copy this all day long if you want. So if you want to go to My Business Services Facebook page, just grab this, and every one of you should like and follow My Business Services Facebook page, because then you can just grab these things easily. They come to you on your newsfeed. This is an article that came out from, I think, Yahoo or something. And what they were saying is they believe volume is going to drop by 30 to 40%. And yeah, volume is going to drop, but we believe it's going to be about 25%. Obviously, their motivation is to scare the living daylights out of everybody and create fear and all that kind of stuff. That's what media does. They get more ratings that way. But in any case, back to this. I just created this post, and in there I said, hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. I've got a free webinar coming up next Thursday. All right, and here's the link. Come get on a free webinar, and you can learn how to overcome the obstacle of reduced transaction volume. Well, we know what that answer is. The answer is working with investors, right? So I'm going to let them sign up for the free webinar, right? 51 people saw it. I didn't even boost it yet. I haven't boosted this thing. They saw the article, they clicked on the link and signed up. And I think as of earlier, there was like 40 or 50 some odd people. We were already signed up for that webinar. It's a special webinar. You guys can be on it if you want. I don't mind. But in case you guys can take this, go to my Services Facebook page, click like and share it to yourself. Put it on your Facebook page. Okay. In any case, what I was going to show you guys is this. You can click on Boost, and I got to be careful. This is one of the things that will get me in trouble with the Ads Manager. So I'm going to actually click cancel here. But when you click on Boost, you have some options here. Okay, send it to people to your website, get more people to react, comment and share, post button, learn more, add a special ad category. I'm not going to click that because it'll throw me in a special ad category. Audience, see that you can select your audience here, even on a simple boost. Okay, now they still may reject your boost and they just do a review and then they'll approve it. But this is a lot shorter, simpler, faster, and easier for you to create a simple post on your business page. And I highly recommend you do this now. This is what Doug and Gwen did. And Betty, you did the same thing, right, Betty? I think you did just a basic post. Betty, did you create an ad or did you do a post and then boost it? If you could type it in, Betty, let me know. I'd appreciate that. For everybody here, the reason I bring this up is what I just showed you a moment ago with Cheryl. I didn't even go into the whole thing about creating an ad. I'll do that if you want, but we did that last week. What I'm getting at is creating a simple post is much easier, and you can boost it and then select your audience, okay? But in any case, so I'm going to show you, if I have time, how to create a simple 1-minute video ad campaign just using this simple process here. But I want to make sure we did reject review. We did create lookalike audience from the business manager. We talked about special ad category. I'm going to show you a few more things here. Hang on one second. Let me get out of this. Let me hit cancel. Okay. Now we're not going to cancel the ad. I'm just going to. Do you want to save your work and finish that ad later? No. So I'm going to drop out of that. Hang on one second. Oops. Let me reduce this. Hopefully it didn't just cancel the original ad. Boy, I'd be in trouble for that. Okay, let me go to the chat box and see. I saw some chats coming in. That was probably Betty. So Helen, right. So this is Helen saying, we were shown by our Market Center tech guide to post it on our business page first and then share it to our personal page. Doesn't matter which direction you do it in, personal business. It actually really doesn't matter. The reason I do it on my personal page is I've got a lot of agents on there because I've been in the business for so long. And it spreads further, faster on your personal page when you have like a personal following. But you can absolutely create it directly in your business page and then share it to your personal page. What I wanted to show you earlier is on the business, go to my business page here, and then just copy this, Helen, or share it to yourself, so you can share it to your business page, and then you can do the boost on it later. But before you boost it, send it to your personal page. Now, one of the reasons I do it on my personal page first. If I did it on my business page first and then post it to my personal page, it'll have a slightly different look to it because on the business page is where you get the option to boost it and edit and all that kind of stuff. On your personal page, you don't have the option to boost it, okay? So in any case, that's why I do that one first. That's one of the reasons why I do it. So Betty did a basic ad and she just had not boosted it. So she did an ad versus a simple post. So in other words, she went to Ads Manager. Now, let me just go ahead and show you that, guys. Some of you weren't on last week. So again, start with the drop-down menu right up here. Click on that. Now I'm going to go to Manage Ads, not Business Manager, but Manage Ads. For just a simple ad creation. Okay? It'll bring it up in a second, so hang on to your seats. Okay. And you'll have an account. The account's just in my own personal name. That's the account number. Of course, it's active. Okay. And in here, And I'm going to show you guys this. I'll show you a little plan that I wrote. It goes from campaign to special to ad sets, excuse me, and then to ads. But for right now, we're gonna pretend we're gonna create an ad. We'll go into something that's not going to get me in trouble. We'll go to let's go to the one that was flagged. So I'm going to select that. Then I click on Ad Set. Okay. Select the ad set. Then I'm going to go to ads for the ad set. Now I'm going to create ads. So you only create ads in the ad tab. You always want to remember that ad campaign, ad sets, the ads themselves. So you can have a number of ads in an ad set and a number of ad sets in an ad campaign. So I'm it went from the campaign to the ad set to the ad. I'm going to click on create. Okay. So it's the one thing Facebook makes it easy for us is the create button. Okay. Existing ad set posts why real estate agents work with real estate investors, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to hit continue. Okay. Then I'm going to go through everything you do to basically create the ad. I'm not going to go through all this. I just want to show you how to get there. You got to create a name for it, and make your names, by the way, the ad names. What I do is I put in there what it's for, in this case engagement. I will also put a date on that, because then I can go back and find, if I want to find an ad I ran months before that did really well, just go and grab it and duplicate it. Okay. If you don't put dates on that, you could have all kinds of engagement ads, hundreds of them, and not know which one was which. So in any case, it's going to show up on my Investment Services page. That's the Instagram account. We're going here. You can create ad. We're not going to use existing posts. We're going to create an ad. Okay. I'm just going to basically go through the summary here, because I want to go into the 1-minute video campaign for you. Format, always choose, most cases you're going to choose single image. You can select video, and for the rest of the night's class, I'll show you how to do the video campaign. In that case, you would select video. Okay. All right. Let's see, we're going to skip down here. Media, add media, create slideshow, create a video. We're not going to do any of that kind of stuff. We'll do just add image. That's all we'll do is add an image in this case. Okay. They're going to go, if you have any links to put in there, you're going to type in your links. Okay. Call to action. If you want them to do something, they can just say get quote, learn more, send message, shop now, see what's up. So you would click on, usually in your case, learn more. Okay. You would do that, learn more. And you're going to please select media for your ad. That's where you got to again choose your picture again. In any case, tracking, don't worry about Facebook pixels right now. That's more advanced. We have a programmer that does that because it involves some coding. Some of you may be able to do that. I got a degree in computer science. I don't mess with it because I don't want to take the time. I just pay somebody to do that. Okay, it's just worth my time. If you want to learn about it, I'll give you some information to show you how to put a tracking pixel. So what you do is if you drive somebody to your website, you put a tracking pixel on that website, then the tracking pixel gathers information. You can create a lookalike audience based on everybody that the tracking pixel captured. So anybody that went to your website, well, those are people that you want. Well, the tracking pixel shows you who they are. Okay. In any case, any URLs you want to put in there. I didn't finish this up, so I'm getting errors. In any case, basically you're putting in your wording, your headline, all that stuff. Okay. And you select your audience too. Now, let me do this. I'm going to go into what I wanted to show you early on. Let me leave that. Let me go into here. 1-minute video. So you know what I'll do, guys? Let me share this first. Hang on just 1 second. So Cheryl, what I did is I grabbed a bunch of material from Facebook and put it in a Word doc for you. You're all gonna get this, guys. I'm gonna have Beverly send this to you tomorrow, okay? But it talks about setting up audiences for special ad categories. So everything I just showed you, the good news is you got the instructions right here, okay? So we'll get the video and you'll get the instructions. It tells you exactly what to do. But here's the other thing I want to show you. This is now we're finally going to get into some production. Let me check the chat box here. Hang on just one second. Thanks for the Word doc, Gary. You're welcome, Helen. Thank you. I really appreciate your discussing this again today. Hey, Cheryl. Don't worry about Cheryl. By the way, I don't know if you're on the beginning. I realized from your other email that I have an email from you I didn't see. I got to get back to that. So I'm going to do that. I got one from Vince, and I got one from you. I'm going to go search for them, and I'll get to those after I call my mom for her birthday. Okay. So in any case, back to this. I'm going to send you these instructions too. What I want you to consider, I know some of you might be thinking, man, I really stink in front of the camera. I'm no good at taking pictures and selfies and all that kind of stuff. I don't think any of us are. I think we all, and me included, me particularly, I think I look really goofy when I do selfies and when I do videos of myself, because it always, because of the way the camera works, the lens and all that, it makes my nose look way bigger than it is. Okay, have you ever noticed that? You do a selfie or a video, it's like whatever's closest to the lens shows it's the biggest, right? Kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make me feel good. I don't know about you, but it doesn't matter. Get past it, check your ego at the door, and do this. Okay, it's one of the best ways to get people to pay attention to you and get to know you, like you, and trust you. It's a simple thing. So it's a 1-minute video. Now the video is broken down into 4 sections. Okay, the hook, which is no more than 3 seconds. I know, just kind of put your blinders on here to get through this, okay? The hook is your story opener, 3 seconds. Something that's an attention grabber, like a shocker. Maybe you can take a video of yourself standing out on the beach with the waves coming in, and you're taping yourself with the waves coming in behind you, and they can see the water coming up. And they know the water, you're going to be standing in water in about 2 seconds, okay? And you could be saying something about, I want to show you the view from the house on the other side of this camera. Look at this view you're getting. The water comes up, takes all of about 3 seconds. That's the example of a hook, okay? Then you want to ignite their pain or pleasure. Remember, the 2 biggest motivators in the human experience are pain and pleasure. And believe it or not, they both involve the same nerve functions. Okay, I studied psychology for years and marketing, all this kind of stuff, and if you think about it and you study, you will realize the same sensory receptors used for pain and pleasure, and it actually sends a signal to your brain, and if you don't really know what's happening, you might interpret something as pain that might be pleasure, or vice versa. If you didn't know what it was, your other senses were telling you that, because your brain is assigning to that what it is. Okay, it's just a phenomenon in human nature. But in any case, ignite pain and pleasure. Say something like, and I'll give examples in here too, by the way. All right, so I would say something like, if you've been wanting to live by the beach your entire life and you're tired of waiting, we know that real estate is going to be taking a hit right now, and we know that's the best opportunity, the best time to pick up a property at a really good price. And here's your opportunity, and 12 seconds goes by and you're into the next phase, which is described as solution. Solution is, this is you speaking, I did a search for properties in, Venice Beach, Florida, or Newport Beach, California, wherever you are, or up in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. How about that? Okay. And I found these properties, and here's one of them right here. I'm going to show you the property. I'm going to explain to you how I actually did the search and came up with these properties. And this property could be yours. And now we're into the 4th section, which is call to action. Call to action is, even if you're just curious on what this property might go for, please email me. Here's my email, or please click here to get more information, or the learn more button. Remember, I showed you the learn more button in the ad creation. Have them click on that to learn more. And you can give them the listing for the property, something like that, okay? So in any case, that's the call to action in about 10 seconds. Now let's go into some details here, and this will start to make a lot more sense. All right, technical stuff here. We call this, there's a front end and a back end, we call them bumpers. Most people create a bumper. They'll show something like, "Hi, I'm Gary Wilson. I'm standing on this beach here, and you're probably wondering why the water is going to come up and get my pants all wet." Okay, you don't want to say that. It's called a bumper. You don't want to explain to them why you're doing the video. You just want to jump into the video. Does that make sense? So in the beginning, don't explain what this was about. Just do the about. Okay. So don't include an introduction. Later on, you can give them your name if you want to. Do not include an introduction. All right. It's not going to add any value, and it's not going to help them take action. Okay. Now start with your story opener, and here you go. Here's some examples. When I was 19, my car broke down in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico. Boom, 3 seconds. You got your story opener in there. When I was 5, I went to SeaWorld and got attacked by a seagull. Right. It's something that's like, whoa, what? So you jumped right into the story. You didn't tell them that you were going to tell them about a story. You just started telling the story. You jumped right in, right, like you were right in the middle of the story. That's the best thing you can do to write that down, is remember that. Start off as if you're right in the middle of the story. Okay? Now, moving down here, I'm going to give you some more examples here in a second. The next part is to ignite pain or pleasure. All right, and you want to take them. Anything you're doing, it's basically a transformative process. You're transforming them. You're basically transferring them from where they are to where they want to be. Where they are is living somewhere in the middle of the city that they don't like, and where they want to be is on the beach, in their beach house. You're going to transfer them there. Okay, you're going to take them from pain to pleasure. So the pain is, where they're living now, and the pleasure is where they want to be. So for example, let me go back up here. I just went way too fast. Okay. So example, here it is. At 19 years old, I learned that things don't always go the way you plan, and a lot of you might feel that way when it comes to marketing. Okay. You're running an ad campaign on Facebook, Google, and other channels, and though you hear a lot of success stories, you feel like your ads aren't working very well. Sound familiar? Okay. When you're realizing what you're realizing is that there's a lot of competition on these platforms, and it's harder than it looks to do things the right way. Okay, so that's your 12 seconds. The pain point. We all experience that. We know what the guy's talking about. Okay. Oops, doggone it. This thing is way too jumpy here. Let me go back up here. Now, the next thing, remember, you want to give them. And this should take about 35 seconds. What is it you're offering to do for them? What's your solution? How does it work? Why does it work? How does you describe the change in their lives? That's the 35-second part. And it's going to take them to mentally, subconsciously visualizing being in that house. Okay. You're going to give them the answer, so to speak. Now, when it comes to this, you next want to do what's called a call to action. There's hard sells and there's soft sells. A hard sell, what's called a call to action, CTA, is click here, enter below, blah, 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 blah. That will work on some people who are like high Ds. They don't want to hear a lot of BS. They just want to just tell me what I got to do, right? But people are more like the opposite, the high S's. You have to basically be more subtle, more conservative, say softer, say like this. I'm looking forward to connecting with you, and I'll send you more content. Something like that. Now, here's an alternative. I know in the beginning I told you you don't have to tell them who you are, but here's an opportunity where you actually can tell them who you are. You can say, after you've told them, basically ignited the pain point, and then you transform them from where they were to where they want to be, and how they can do that. Then you have your call to action. Here's the call to action. An alternative is this. You'd say this. I've created back to the 35-second part. I created this process to identify these really low price properties on the ocean right here. I can send this to you. Hi, my name is Gary Wilson. This is what I do for a living. I'll be happy to send you this information. Tell me where to send it. So it's a version of the soft sell, but allows you to anchor yourself to the offer. Okay. So it's just an alternative there. Now, down here, I'm going to get into, and I got all of this I got from one of my mentors, one of my training programs called a Digital Marketer. You guys don't have to do that stuff because I'm going to give you everything anyway. So in any case, there's other examples in here, right? They go over the hook, ignite the pain, describe the solution, call to action. So I'm going to send you all this. You'll get this in tomorrow's email. Okay. Now, let me show you something else. Hang on one second. All right. Ad manager campaign. There's one more thing I want to show you. I think it's over here. Here it is. Okay. Do me a favor. Everybody type in the chat box. Let me know if you're interested in doing one of these. Now, Alan's saying, are we supposed to see the page you're reading from? Okay, hang on one second. Let me do a share. All right. So Helen, for everybody watching, this is basically a checklist you can use to create a 60-second video. In other words, you just write your script right here in the hook, the first 3 seconds. And Helen, I'm going to go back to where I was and share that with you too. Hang on one second. Share this. So Helen, this is what I was going over a moment ago. I'm going to send this to you. You'll get this in the recording of this webinar tomorrow from Beverly. It's going to have all these examples. Okay, so you can use these as templates to follow, or examples to follow, right? Hook, ignite pain, describe solution, call to action. Now let me go back here, share the template again, and you plug these in here, but your own words. So you can maybe print this off, fill it in with one of the examples you're going to get in the attachment, and then print this off again blank and start filling your own in. And this is your actual 60-second script right there. That's all it is. And now you can practice. So do it on your phone. Load it, maybe send it to yourself in an email or send it to your computer so you can see it full screen, the video you just created. And if you like it, you load that up to Facebook. Load up to Facebook, create a post, or you can create an ad and do it that way. But I suggest in the beginning, just simply create a post first that you can boost. Then when you get more comfortable with Facebook, then you can go into ad creation, okay? But in any case, in most cases, you really don't, the trick is to get comfortable seeing yourself so you don't get caught up in how you look. It's more about the sequence of the steps here. That's what that's all about. Your hair can be messed up. Maybe you don't have any makeup on. Believe me, it's okay. I know it sounds crazy, but you're not in front of a television camera in a news studio, okay? You're outside, you're by a tree, you're by your car, you're in front of a house. Maybe you're in somebody's kitchen. But the point is that the more natural it is, the better your results are going to be. Just know that. One of my favorite teachers, a guy named Dennis Yu, and he's the one who taught me that. I kept getting hung up on it. I got to wear the right shirt. Whatever. He said, stop it. He showed me when he said, look, I'm wearing a t-shirt. He was wearing a t-shirt that was wet. And it was one of his best performing posts. And it really taught me a big lesson. I didn't care that he was wearing a wet t-shirt. I didn't even notice it until he pointed it out. What I cared about was he was looking directly into the lens. So I'm looking directly at him. And he did a 60-second video, and I got to see firsthand what he was talking about. So just get comfortable with that. The more natural it is, if your hair is blowing, it's okay. All right. What you have to do is to do the hook, ignite the pain, describe the solution, and do the call to action. You're taking the viewer from where they are to where they want to be. And when they see your face, basically it endears you to them. Okay. And it's one of the easiest things you can do. Give them the learn more button where they can grab the listing or go to take them to your Facebook page, your website page where they can enter their information. Okay. Now I know I was going to get some comments on this. So let me see what we got. Love it. Diane says, love it better than me winging it on a video. Yeah. So this will help you a lot, Diane. And then what I was going to say a moment ago is when I first started this, guys, I would do video after video after video until I felt like I had it right. I finally realized I'm just spending so much time, and I'm going to get some training. And the first thing I learned was what Dennis, you told me, said, stop worrying so much. Just be yourself and be natural. And the way you can do it is to plat this out in this 4-step plan, and then practice it yourself first in front of a mirror. Okay. And if you want to practice it in front of a friend or a relative, you can do that. But the main thing is as soon as you get on the camera, the better you're going to get. And by the way, I'm going to give you an old trick here. It's called the file method. So if you notice that there's 4 steps here, 4 steps. So what I do is I'm holding the camera in this hand right here, right? And you can't see this because my hands are over here, but I'm literally going like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's one of the best tricks in the world to go through this in 60 seconds, because I know number 1 is going to be about 3 seconds. I know number 2 is going to be about 12 seconds. I know number 3 is going to be 35 4 is going to be 10 seconds, all right? So I know I've got to be quick on the first one, a little bit more than 10 seconds on the second one. The third one's where I got the meat and potatoes. The fourth, and I wrap it up in 10 seconds. Well, I'm just doing that. You're not seeing the video because my hand's by my side, but I'm literally going 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not counting verbally, but in my mind, I'm holding up the finger that the step I'm on, that I'm on step 2. I know subconsciously what step I'm on, and it triggers my recall of what the script is. Does that help you guys, what I just said there? Vince said, yeah. Vince, I got to tell you, this, what I just showed you there helped me tremendously, and I hope it helps you too. Chris is asking how often, let me go back here. Lots of messages just came in here. Oops. How often do you suggest we do these videos? So Chris, this is a great question. I want to say something here. Just because I'm showing you something new almost every week, that doesn't mean you have to do everything I show you. Marketing is more a matter of structure and organization and having a plan, okay? So what I suggest is you start off getting your booklet campaign up and running. Keep it going every single month. Do it through email, send it to the mail, just keep that thing going. Number 2 is you need inventory. So you gotta do like the letter campaign. Keep that going every single week, every single month, okay? Later, when you start getting traction, you're getting buyers and sellers and you're in the flow, now you can add social media, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Just do one at a time. The point I want to make here is when you jump into offline into online, which is the Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, all that, always start with Facebook, okay? And everybody's told me this, and I learned myself the hard way, that Facebook's, even though it's a pain in the butt to work with, it usually gives you more immediate results, okay? Because you start small with your own audience, you build up the following online too, and you can send your booklet online to these people too through Facebook. But do that first. Later on, you can do YouTube. That will be the next one. So back to your question, Chris. When you're doing this is something, you want to put something out there on Facebook once you start at a minimum of once a week, at a bare minimum. Now, what you should be doing is doing a personal post every single day. Now, that personal post should be something don't be like me. I'm like Mr. I'm way extreme. I put principle way before business. And so I don't care if it affects my business because I'm just my age and I've already got money, so I'm okay. But what I want to do is, I get in trouble with this. So my people that work for me, they basically every week just, "Oh, you stop doing that." And I was okay. I keep doing it. But what I'm getting at is put posts out there that are appealing and positive and friendly. So don't put any negative stuff out there. No negative stuff. Only positive things. You can put a positive spin on the coronavirus. You can say, "Look at the number of people who've recovered." See, I'm talking about the coronavirus, but I'm talking about the people recovered. What I'm getting at is show pictures of you and pets, animals, the outdoors, activities, boats, bikes, cars, things like that. Your friends, picnics, grilling out on your patio. Put those things on your personal page, and once a day, take one of those over to your business page, okay? Unless you're going to post a lot. In the beginning, do one a day that's personal and one a week that's business on the business page. Then later on, Chris, you can do literally 7 posts a day, six that are human interest type things, something fun and exciting or humorous, whatever, and one would be a business thing. But you want to evolve to that. So start off with 1 a week, then work your way up to 1 a day, then work your way up to 7 a day, that kind of thing. So let's see, Jamila. Hi, Jamila, how you doing? By the way, thanks again for that beautiful, wonderful testimonial you sent me. So how do you recommend we find inventory using the ads? Okay, on the ads, let's talk about printed material first, okay? I always suggest if you're using printed material, use green sheet, penny saver, things like that, okay? Don't use the big publications. In the green sheet and penny saver, you can post ads there saying, hey, I have investors ready, willing, able to buy properties right now. If you want to get rid of your duplex because your tenants are driving you crazy, visit this webpage here or call me, email me. Now, what I was getting at, Jamila, you can do the same thing on Facebook, okay? If you're looking for listings on Facebook, it's not as easy to get buyers. Buyers are easier on Facebook, okay? Just show them all the properties and people will call you. But what you can do is you can tell them in a Facebook post, say, look, I've got investors just like Gary Wilson. You can name, well, don't name me because use one of your clients, last name only too, by the way, who are interested in buying duplexes right now. If you've got one and you're tired of the tenants, please let me know. We'll make you a good deal. Okay, so you can do that kind of thing. Or if you're looking, let's talk about traditional real estate for a second. You can do on Facebook. You can create a form. I don't know did I show you guys that last week? You can create a form on Facebook, and what it does allows people to put in their name and phone number, email, all that kind of stuff you want. And then you run a post that uses the form. So in the post you would say, or an ad, you would say, if you're looking to buy a home in Magnolia, which is north of you, Jamila, click here because I'll give you a free list of all the properties in Magnolia that are in foreclosure or that are rental properties or something like that. Okay, make it something specific. That's how you get buyers. To get sellers, it's just not as easy. You have to appeal to people who are going through some kind of trauma, because otherwise they wouldn't be selling. And that's why it's hard to do on Facebook, because Facebook only wants positive stuff. Okay, they don't want anything negative. So if you put too much stuff out there that says, hey, if you're getting tired of evicting tenants, please let me know. I'll sell your property for you. You can have some success with that, but Facebook doesn't like negative stuff. Number one. Number two is most people looking to sell actually aren't thinking of selling on Facebook, right? There a lot of times they're in crisis mode and they don't know what to think. But in any case, you can do that if you want to take this. Anything you do in print, you can do in Facebook. I just think you have more success on the print side. It's just been my own experience. But in any case, back to this. And by the way, thanks, Jamila, for the question too. I'll come up with some other ad campaigns you can do on Facebook if you want. I'll send them to you. But for right now, let's focus on what we went over tonight. And I would challenge every one of you to go out again and do a simple post, and this time do a simple video. All right. If you have, let's do this. Let's say you have, let's do this. Let's test this out. Let's say you have a buyer who wants a fourplex, okay, or a duplex or a triplex, or wanting to flip a home. Try that. I know I just told you kind of you might have better success offline, but run something that says, you know what, I have a client who wants to buy a duplex right now, or is very interested in buying a home in Siesta Key, right? Sarasota, Siesta Key. And inventory's tight. If you know anybody thinking about selling, please let me know, because I have a ready, willing, able buyer now. All right, something like that. On the multi-unit one, you could again mention, say something like, if you're getting tired of tenants and you want to find out what your property would sell for, please let me know. I'll give you a free evaluation. Not only that, I've got a client right now looking to buy a duplex. Right, and put that in there. Run a video, do that in video, and post those guys out there, and tell me what happened next week. Actually, send me an email or a text or something, and we can come back to this next week and see how we did as a group. So let's do that. Create a short little video ad, little video post, put it out there. And if you want to do a hook, make the pain about the the evicting people, things like that. Just be careful the wording you use. If you want to do it for a traditional owner-occupied client, to do that, whatever you feel comfortable doing, just get one out there. Okay, I just want you to commit to. Everybody type in saying I will. Say I will do that. I will create a simple little 60-second video. Okay, and so the brand new folks. Let's see here, Tiffany. So Tiffany, this is interesting. Your very first day, and we haven't even had a strategy call yet, and I'm going to have you do a video. How about that? So let's see who's in on this one. I tell you what, guys, I can't wait till we do a live event. So many of you I've actually met in person. I know who you are because I've seen you in person, obviously. So Jamila's in, Cheryl, Willie, hot dog. Let's see, Vince. I'm losing track of the chats here. Tanya, so good to see you too. Let's see, David. Thanks, Gary. Looking forward to our call Friday. Hey, David. Yeah, I got some potential news for you on that, buddy. So hang on to your seats. Okay, guys, listen. I hope you have a wonderful night. Can we do a live Zoom call? Yeah, Tanya, use the link. Use the link to set up a call with me. The strategy call link, and just put in there in the comments, say, do it on Zoom, because then I can look at your computer screen and all that. Okay. Let's see, Matt. Hey, Matt, good to see you, buddy. Hot diggity dog. Tell your mom happy birthday. Thanks, Vince. Yeah, she just turned 82, and she's as spry as she can be. And unfortunately, I can't see her because she's in Virginia and I'm in Ontario, Canada. And as soon as I cross the border, I got to be quarantined again. This is crazy about my lifestyle. The way I go back and forth is right now. Every time I cross the border, I got to be quarantined for 2 weeks. It doesn't matter if I'm sick or not. It's just a rule. So, in any case, guys, I appreciate that. God bless you and your families. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember, back straight, chin up, right? Chest out, chin up. That way you can have the up look, and that's where the bright side is, right? Things are starting to turn, guys. Numbers are starting to look good. So Rosemary is in quarantine now. Yeah, I did my 2 weeks, Rosemary. And Rosemary, welcome aboard too, by the way. In any case, God bless you and your families. I will see you next week, by the way, which is going to be 30th, next Thursday. Maybe what I'll do next Thursday is I'll jump into like LinkedIn or maybe YouTube, and we'll probably do some more here on Facebook too. But usually LinkedIn and YouTube don't take that long. Okay, Facebook is just an endless, guys. We could spend a whole year on Facebook. Okay, so in any case, take care of yourselves. I appreciate you participating, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Okay, bye-bye.